Well, hello, once again, my YouTube pals. Alrighty. Lovely Valentine's Day stream here. Mute that there. Well, today I hopped on the old PlayStation and been playing Galaga, and I beat my score 3 times, so we're gonna see if we can't do it another few times. Not the best Galaga player there is, I'll be honest. I'm not incredibly good, but I like to think I'm decent. So let's see what I can do here. Apologize if I don't really talk, sometimes that confuses me. Can't really multitask, if you get what I'm saying. Let's see here. So if you guys don't know what Galaga is, it's up there with Pac-Man. Is probably one of the most, like, I guess I would say recognizable classic arcade games. Pretty much any Pac-Man cabinet that you find has Galaga in it as like a, like a secondary game. You could play either Pac-Man or Galaga. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Will this one do it? Yep. Basically, there's these little alien things. There's a bunch of different kinds, but the main ones are these. The ones that this one here that abducted me. There's a couple of those. There's the bees and the red fuckers. There's other different kinds that will show up. You'll see them throughout as I get going. But it's a fun game. It's a really good time waster. As what I'm doing now. Got really nothing better to do. So why not play some Galaga on the old YouTubes? Because why not? All of one person watching, which I'm pretty sure is myself, but you get how it is. The struggle. So let's see. So the challenge stages, the trick with these are, you have to kill all of the alien things, because you get a 10,000 point bonus if you kill them all. Basically, each hit is 1,000 points, or, 100 bonus points, I guess. If you get 40, you get 10,000, but if you get 39, like you miss one, you only get 3,900. So that's why you have to make sure you get all of them. Also, they give you a nice little bonus of 1,000 points if you can get the whole row. So all in all, it's a pretty it's a pretty good point grab, like, 16,000 points you can get. Just from, and they don't even try to kill you, which is the easiest part. Another thing, too, like that one that just separated there, you want to try to kill all those, because that's another little point. If you can get that, all 3 of them, you get 1,000 points. In the earlier stage, I think it goes up to 2,000 and even 3,000 in later ones, but they get harder and harder to kill them all at once, so... See how that fucker separates, and then just light them all up, you get 1,000 points. It's pretty easy, pretty good way to get points. I have a tendency, though, of killing all of the bees, because they're the ones that transform. I have a tendency of killing them all before they get a chance to separate, which, I mean, isn't really bad. I guess it's just less points. See, now they'll separate. Another thing, too, if you can't get them all, just try and get the first 2, because the last one will always circle around and come back, and then you have another chance to kill it, pretty much. Oh, I missed one. So now I'm only going to get 3,900 points instead of the 10,000, which just kind of puts you behind in points a little bit. The 1-ups, you can, in the app, in the game here, you can set them to whatever you want. But I have it at the standard. I think it's 30,000, 70,000, and then 120,000, if I'm not mistaken. Basically goes up by 10,000 points each time. I think it goes 30, 40, and then 50. And then after 120, I don't think you get them anymore. Which kind of sucks. Yeah, those green fucks are worth 2,000 if you can get them all, but they're kind of hard to. Not because they move real quick, just because there's a bunch... They usually come down with a bunch of those, like, rocket things, and you don't want to fly into there because you'll get killed, and that's not fun. Like that. The dual ship is... I mean... I'm not very good, so if I don't have it in the later stages, I kind of suck. But... yeah, now I'm just kind of being lazy. It's kind of... It's not really a cheat code. It's more or less kind of like a... Not even really an Easter egg, because it's a mechanic of the game. It's like a power-up, I guess. That's what I would call it. It's not really like, oh, haha, I got this little cheat code here. I can, and that can happen, too. You can kill it, which is what I just did. So now I'm down a life for nothing. I had 3, now I have 1. Yeah, that basically getting your ship captured is losing a life. You don't lose it permanently because you can get it back when you do, or if you can get the dual fighter thing, which is what I was going for, but I unfortunately shot it, which you can do from time to time. Basically what the alien thing does is it'll do like a little circle kind of flip move, and it kind of like gets behind it, so your bullet hits the ship instead of the alien. But we're gonna try again for it, if I can get over there. And also, you can't shoot the thing while it's up there. See how it is now? If you shoot it while it's up there, the ship becomes like one of the aliens, and it'll shoot at you, and you don't get it back. So now that it's free, now I can go for it, and I got it back. Like that. So now we're back on track. And these little dragonfly things are a different kind of enemy that you see. These ones give you 1,500 if you can kill them all, which I have a problem of doing. So this, I should be able to get this one. Yep, 1,500 there. So, as you get up further in the game, you get more points for things that you do. However, the bonus stage, you always get the same amount of points for the hits. It doesn't really change. And it's out of 40, so... They do get... I wouldn't say they get really hard. That Dragonfly one is probably the biggest pain in the ass. The one after this one is like a different version of the bees. It's probably the easiest of the later stages. And then those shits are annoying. But these ones, I think, give you 3,000 points, yeah. If you can get them all. And then they start doing this in the later stages as well. It's really annoying. So let's keep going here. The reason why I like having two ships is because you can knock them down when they're, like, forming a lot quicker. Because when there's a shit ton of them up there, when, you know, you're this late in the game, they just start all flying down at once, and it's just a pain in the ass to try and kill them all. I mean, you can do it. It's not hard. It's just easier if you can knock them down in the beginning. And then you gotta do a bunch of, like, acrobatics to try and dodge everything, and it's annoying. But if you can pay attention, it's not too hard. But I just flew into a laser, and now I'm dead. But I did get 108,000 points, with a hit-miss ratio of 60.7. Cool little thing they do at the end there is they give you the stats, but I am in the top 10, so I'll put my name in, of course. Even though this is on my own console and nobody ever sees this, but it gives you like that arcade aesthetic. The one thing that always bugged me about the Galaga machines is that they don't, well, some of them do, but for the most part, they only show you the high score. Like, this is basically like the idle screen when you walk up to the machine, you know, put your quarter in. They don't show you the top 5, they only show you the high score. So usually, if the high score is something crazy that I know I can't get to, I'm like, oh, I at least want to get my name on the board. But you never know what the score you have to beat is, so you're just kind of aimlessly hoping to get to the, you know, the whatever. Now, on a machine, I actually kind of prefer to play this on the machine a little more than I do on the console. I started playing it on, the NES Classic had a Nintendo port for it. It was ported to a lot of a lot of games back in the day, home consoles. The Nintendo being one of them. And that's where I used to play it, except it's not the same. The colors are weird, the setup is different. Basically, they put your high score and all that stuff on the side of the screen instead of the top there. I don't know why they did it that way, probably something with the console's limitations, but probably one of my all-time favorite retro arcade games. Pac-Man I was never very good at. This, my uncle was obsessed with this game, and every time we were at an arcade or something that had it, he would always put up some crazy score. So that's kind of what got me into it, I guess. I missed one. And whenever I see it out somewhere, like bars and stuff will have it, or like Dave & Buster's sometimes has it. Go out there and play and see if I can throw my name up on the board, and sometimes I can. Now, a couple tips. A lot of people say this game is completely random, which it is. Actually, it's not. I wouldn't say it is. It's very, very predictable. The stages where things happen, like when they start separating and the paths they take, is all predetermined. However, once they're landed up there, the paths they take after that to come down and try and kill you is different, and the paths of the lasers and stuff are different. But the actual... Fuck me. That shouldn't have killed me. But the actual... Will this guy do it? Nope. Oh, come on. But the actual levels are all predetermined. So you can kind of guesstimate where things are going to be, where they're going to happen. A lot of people say it's completely random, which is just not true. If you've sat down and played the game more than once, you can see that it's pretty predictable. Fun fact, also, like a lot of arcade games from this era, On the original cabinets, if you got to round, I think, a 128, it resets itself and it loses memory, which is because the RAM at the time couldn't handle it. But now, I think on these newer ones, I mean, I've never gotten up that high to find out for myself, but I do know there's a lot of, PC emulators that go way farther. I think MAME is one of them. I would assume this is no different, considering it's, it's just a port of the original game. This game, like I said, this is a PlayStation 4. I think it's just like Galaga. It's just Galaga. It's not like a bunch of arcade games. Some of them will come with, all different ports of Namco games or, Neo Geo games. This is just Galaga. It was only like $3. But you can tweak stuff in the settings, like, what round you start on, how many lives you have, when you get 1-ups, that type of stuff. But if you do change any of that, you don't get any trophies, which kind of sucks. But, I mean, if one of the trophies is get to round 15, and you start on round 15, understandable why. But yeah, like I said, I was feeling in a groove today to play this, and I got on, in my first game, I demolished my previous high score, so I'm like, oh, well, let's keep going, and I've been doing better since, so I think I've beat my high score like 3 times in this little sitting. Not on stream, of course, but... Yeah, another thing, these bees will always kind of circle around once, and that can get kind of hairy because they'll come up behind you and kill you, which is annoying. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm done. Well, I guess that's it for right now, guys. I'm gonna go do something else now. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe if you want to see more.